Hi, I'm Lorie Marrero, and today's Clutter Video Tip is about drawer dividers. There's a huge selection out there, so let me make it a little easier for you to choose what you need to use for your situation. They have great specialty drawer dividers nowadays. This one is made for extra large kitchen utensils or gadgets, and it actually expands to the width of your drawer on either end. So it is exactly perfect for what it does, and it's worth the extra money. The jump drawer divider is another thing that you might see a lot, and it has a lot of little compartments that are great for paper clips or safety pins or things like that. And then of course we have the traditional interlocking modular drawer dividers. These just hook together in whatever configuration you need them to. There are lots of other shapes and sizes and even colors. And they just hook together, and then you can store whatever you need to store in your particular drawer. So let's talk about that for a second, because really that's the first decision you have to make is, what am I trying to store in this drawer? So when you've decided that, whether it's office supplies or kitchen gadgets, you need to know how many dividers to get and of what size, or at least have a general idea before you go to the store. The best way to do that is by measuring. So first you want to measure the drawer that you're going to be storing things in, and you want to write that stuff down so that you'll have those measurements with you in the store. And secondly, you want to measure the product itself before you bring it home, and if it's a mistake, then you've created more clutter or another errand that you have to run. So we sell these in our online store. This is a 3-foot keychain measuring tape, and it just makes it really easy to have this with you so that you can do that checking while you're out. Another thing we want to show you today is a drawer that has a great example of a lot of different things. This is a flatware drawer, just an everyday utensil drawer, and it wasn't exactly perfect, so there were a lot of little fixes that we did to make this work. First of all, it was a specialty utensil divider, and it had expanding trays on the sides for these longer utensils, but I didn't need that in this situation. So I just bought another drawer divider that was just another brand and stuck it in there. So you just do whatever works for your situation. The other thing was that it wasn't extending fully back to the end of the drawer here, so there was some space, and it was moving around a little bit when I would open and close the drawer. So what I often do in this situation is have an extra drawer divider, and I just use it simply as a placeholder, and it keeps things nice and tight so they won't move around. Now, if you have a situation where you have a lot of little configured pieces like those interlocking modular units, and you don't want those to slide around, one of the other fixes we use is museum putty. This is a little putty. It's like a little piece of gum that you pinch off from this museum putty package that we have in our store, and then you just put this little dab underneath any drawer divider, and it will just stay in place. We use this museum putty for lots of different things to keep things from sliding off of shelves. It's originally made for earthquake safety, so you can think of lots of uses for that. If you'd like to see more about these products, you can go to clutterdiet.com/store. See you next time, and may you always be happy and grateful for having more than enough.